Hi, Adassa. Thank you so much for coming on Megan's Bookish Life podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be fun.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm like telling all my coworkers, I'm like, guess what? I'm like, I have a podcast, and they go, yes, Megan, we know. And then like, but guess who's going to be on it? So, hello to all my coworkers that hopefully are listening. Oh my god, that's so funny. So, I always do a warm up question for
Okay.
the podcast, but for because this we're talking about love keeps showing up mainly in this podcast. So my warm up question, starting off strong, and I'm sorry, we got to do it. We got to talk about Encanto. So this will be the Encanto part, and then the rest will be bookish part. But I'm gonna say something. I didn't watch Encanto until February of this year, which I'm a little late. Okay, I'm a little late.
What did you think? No, it's never too late.
I loved it. So I was gonna say too. I listened to the We don't need to talk about or we don't talk about Bruno. We don't need to talk about him either. We don't talk about Bruno. I listened to that song when the movie came out. I don't know why I didn't watch the movie. Anyways, I loved it because
Aw.
I found out that you sing my favorite part of the song.
Grew to live in fear, Bruno stuttering or stumbling. I can always hear him sort of muttering and mumbling. I associate him with the sound of falling sand. Tss, tss, tss. That part?
Okay, yes. I was like, I gotta stay seated. I love It's the best day of my life. Um and then when I saw Dolores singing it, I go, I was on to something. I was on to something. um that is gonna be the best clip of my life. Oh, I'm saying that for like my ringtone. Um I have two questions from Encanto fans if I could read them to you.
Yes, please. I'd love to answer them.
Isabella, age 10, which Isabella is my friend's daughter. Hi, Isabella.
Ooh.
Um, if you were to play any other character in Encanto, who would it be?
I think I would have played um, Mirabel. I
Mm.
really sometimes feel, that there are so many parts to myself that are still unexplored. So it's like magic that I don't know I still have that I haven't harnessed. So I think that because I'm a go-getter, I'm like, even though I don't know how to do certain things, I just go for it. So I really love that Mirabel, regardless if she has the magic like Luisa and has her strength or has the way to manipulate flowers or heal through food, she still wants to help no matter what. And she's just like, I'm going for it. Nobody else is, but I will. So I'm definitely that kind of personality. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out while I'm on the road.
I was like, this is like the perfect podcast because I'm like, I read your book, and that's a lot of part of your book, and we're gonna even talk about it. I was like, you're a go getter, and we're gonna talk about it
Oh
um,
yeah.
in a great way. So, my next question, my last Encanto question says, I put Sydney, aged adult, because I don't want to give away her age. She is an adult. Wants to know, what is your favorite part of voice acting?
Oh, my favorite part is being able to be on a different planet, in a different world, in a whole other universe. And I've never left my booth. So freeing. You don't have to look for your, camera. Where's your spot? Am I on the fifth, fourth? You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about anything. You just let your body fly, let your imagination soar, and just go with it.
Well, I feel like you're used to sound boosts because obviously you're a singer.
Yes.
This is my. I said I was gonna be done with the questions. It's my question, so I'm gonna do it. Do you? Is there a huge difference between your voice acting booth? I know there's voice parts that are different, but are the booths different?
The booths are not different. It's the processing of the vocal. Because when you
Mm.
do vocals for music, then you add your reverb, your delays, and you add a lot of fun stuff to it. And sometimes you tune your vocal, you create harmonies with your own main vocal. For people that don't do harmonies, I love to create my harmonies from scratch. And sometimes I like to do like weird harmonies. So I'll take one of my own vocals and I'll like do weird stuff to it. So there's a lot more like ketchup and you put a lot of stuff like you put mayonnaise on it, you put mustard. But with voiceovers, it's like you throw your vocal out and then you isolate it and you're done. So it's just mainly getting rid of the noise. You don't add much to it. You just get rid of the noise, you compress your vocal so it's nice and crispy, and that's it. So it's really all based on your emotional performance. Music is too, but then you have the drums and you have the keys and
Yep.
you have the, so there's the strings that make you soar and there's the guitar. So there's a lot other elements that are coming together like a circus to create something. But when you're doing voiceover work, it's just you and your performance and what you're making the person feel. And then they might add music, but it's not like music's all over or sound effects are all over. So you got to carry that performance. That's what I love about the challenge of voiceovers, because it really helped me dig deeper into expression, into like, really, am I really saying this? Like, am I really conveying what I'm trying to say? So that it really makes me hone in on what I'm trying to express.
Which, I'm a creative, I always say that, and a different kind of creative than singing and voice acting, but that is something that, how do I say it? That would have me thrive. That is something in your life, the voice acting, the singing. You're born to be in a booth.
I love it. And then there's different parts of yourself, because when it's just you and the mic, and like you, Megan, that do this podcast, there's many ways to express. You can be like, "Hi, this is Megan." You can be like, "Hi, this is Megan, and I'm so glad you're here in my podcast." You're creating a completely different ambiance depending on where you position your voice. Like if you want to do a late night thing, you want people to like lean in a little bit, really feel what you're trying to say. But if you were like, "It's the morning. Hello, good morning. I'm Megan. How are you doing today? I hope you're smiling. And if you're not, I'm going to make you smile." You know what I mean? So you create the kind of feeling you want people to drive with, in whatever performance you're doing. So that's what's fun about it. So you can do it too in what you're doing in podcasts, and you inspire people that way. So it's a great thing to be able to just get on a mic and say things into it.
Yeah, exactly. Say things into it. I get it. That was actually a compliment I was not expecting. Even though, like, I don't know if it was a compliment, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Yes, it is a compliment, because like you have a spunky personality and people are like, "Okay, I know what I'm getting." I'm like, "I want to listen to this on my drive to work because it's going to keep me awake." That's what your voice says to me. It's like, "This is fun. I wonder what she's going to say next." So that's what you're making me feel. If I was going to listen to a podcast that is maybe about meditation or mindfulness,
Yes.
their pacing is different because it makes you ponder. It makes you really wonder about what it is you're trying to feel. So you see what I'm saying? The pacing
Yep.
is different, the intensity is different, how your tonality is different. So you are inspiring somebody to go, "Woo, let me grab that cup of coffee. Let me do this. Yeah, let me get into it with Megan." So yes, you have a talent. And so I'm grateful that I can sit with you and chat for a bit.
Real quick, you need to be on the Calm app. Like, you need to have like a little segment on there. I would purchase all of them.
Oh man, maybe I should. A little late night session for everyone who just wants to tone it down and get in the groove.
Or that, or be Delilah. Remember Delilah from the
Oh
radio?
yeah.
Yeah. It could be Delilah's, like, anchor next to her. Okay. Okay, I promise we'll talk about books. So, let's get into Love Keeps Showing Up, which is your debut book. Debut book, there we go. And I've read it. I loved it. So I want to read some quotes that I've never like highlighted on the Kindle before, and I figured it out.
Hello.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to do it. So I'm gonna have you sit back for a second and like listen to your own words. Because I'm gonna tell you what I highlighted.
I
These
can do
are
that.
these are three quotes that I'm like obsessed with. So we have, you said, "I felt like I was standing at the edge of something bigger than just a pop career. I was standing at the edge of my own story." Love that one, because we kind of talked about it a little bit, how you're a go-getter, and standing at the edge of your story means it keeps going. Okay, second one. "I'm not who I used to be, and that's something I celebrate."
Hmm.
That, I think that's a lot of people, in a good way. And then the last one's a little longer. I wish I had like an audiobook voice for this. Um, if you're in the waiting season right now, take heart. You're not being overlooked. The door will open at the right time, and when it does, you'll be ready to walk through it. Not just because you want it, but because you develop the strength and wisdom to handle it.
Yeah.
So I just went through, I tried getting a promotion recently at work, and I wrote these questions, and I was like, oh my gosh, this quote really hit me because I didn't get the promotion. Everyone's like, it's not the right time yet. Not, and then when your quote said you're not being overlooked,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what? That people probably tell you that hits. That was amazing. My big question for those is, did you ever want to write a poetry book? Because you write such lyrical quotes that are relatable, and I think so many people, after they read your book, want a poetry book.
Oh man, I actually wrote my very first piece of poetry when I was about 12 years old, and I won an award for it. And I've always loved writing. When I met who now is my husband, who
Mm.
was the director of the girl group that I got signed to when I was
Yep.
17, he was like, "You know, you can make this into songs." I'm like, "I've never made poetry into songs." And I show him some of my poems. He's like, "Yeah, these are songs. You just need to add some melody to it, and then you're good to go." And so he was the one that helped me be able to find my musical voice to the words that I would write. And like the first quote that you said, like I was, I felt like I was standing on the edge of something bigger than a pop career. I was standing on the edge of my own stories. The way that I picture it is when you see somebody standing on a diving board. There is one particular scene. I remember there was a diver who was in competition and her hands were shaking like a leaf. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And this is a professional diver, professional swimmer. And in the moment that she knew she was going to take the dive, like her mind steadied her hands. She focused, took a breath, and did the dive and like nailed it, right? And when I was watching that, I'm like, that is all of us in our lives. Sometimes we're standing on the edge of greatness and we're freaking scared because we've never been there before. Or if we've been there before, we're still scared of the plunge. We don't know. Are we going to nail it? Are we going to hurt ourselves? This is going to be okay. But at one point, you have to steady your heart, keep your breathing in sync, and then just go for it because the best is yet to come if you take that dive. And so in my life, I've had many moments in which I've had to take a dive. And the moments that I've wanted to quit, I've had people that inspired me to keep going. Like I said, my husband is one of them. Another moment was when I was a kid and I was just like, I want to end my life and I didn't want anything else. And then I was saved by the grace of God. And then I'm now looking back, I'm going, that was my diving moment. I'm so grateful that I didn't get what I thought I wanted because I would have missed out on all of it. So, right now that you're in that position where you are this could be the change of something greater. Like sometimes we're walking towards something because in life you're going to have to
Mhm.
try to face somewhere you're heading because that's the whole point of it. If you're standing still, you're going backwards.
Mhm.
So if you really want to move forward, you got to go for something. But if that door doesn't open, just know that you're being saved for something even greater than you can imagine. So don't be sad. Just be like, well, where is it? Maybe I should start planning because it's right around the corner. So start looking for the window, start looking for that side door because you just got ready for something, which means that you have a certain amount of preparation that you did to try to get that job. So now it's just about harnessing this preparation and then directing it to this other open window, door, side door, whatever. You'll find it and you'll be ready for it. And sometimes the no's you get in life teach you even more than the yeses
Mhm.
because you have to overcome. And overcoming is what makes you stronger. If every single door opened all the time, at one point you wouldn't use your legs, you wouldn't use your arms. There would be nothing. It's just like it's opening, it's opening, it's opening. Why do games work? Why do we love so much to play a game? Because we lose and then we win. And that's what keeps us there. If we won every time, I had this one game and I started and I was like all gung ho. And then at one point, I just started winning. And I started winning every time and I stopped playing it because I didn't want to just win. I wanted to try. And so the gift is in the trying, the gift is in the hustle. So never underestimate the power of the hustle.
That I was like, that was the biggest pause because I'm like soaking that all in. That was incredible, especially for me. My motto, my mother gave me this motto when I was younger. It was back when I just didn't try for anything. I was a teenager, but she said, "It never hurt to ask." And
Yeah.
so I take that with me now, but I kind of add, since I'm a little more mature than I was when I was 15 or whatever, it never hurts to try. And
Yes.
so sometimes when you said that the diving deep, 100% agree, because there's always a pros and cons. I'm gonna talk about the work thing, even though it's not that important. But there's always I made a pros and cons list, which is great. And then if I didn't go for it, I would have not gotten experience for the interview. I would have not gotten experience, for questions I was asked. So there's always something positive, but you gotta try.
Yes. Yes. The worst thing you can do is look back at your life and your golden years and say, man, I didn't try, I didn't go
Mhm.
for. Like, even if you don't get it in that moment, you will at least never look back and wish you would.
Exactly.
It's the hardest thing. You cannot turn back time and wish you would. You can remember, you can reminisce, be like,
Mhm.
man, that was weird. I shouldn't have eaten that thing. Remember when we got diarrhea that one time? Oh, that was hilarious. I was puking for 4 days. You
In the moment, though.
know, in the moment, though, you were like, oh my goodness, I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? But once it's gone, it's funny. It's like sometimes those moments that you cry about are the ones you laugh
Mhm.
about later, the ones you go, wow, I'm so glad I did that. And even though I didn't get that, I was so ready for this and I wouldn't have been ready, you know? It's just life.
Exactly. Um, I feel like I don't feel like I've read in your book that your life has been just super full, which is I love that, because a full life is, I mean, a happy life. So I feel like that word fits the most. So I'm gonna use a full life. Full of trials, full of love, full of joy, all the above. When writing Love Keeps Showing Up, did you look back on it at the end or at any point, or like, and did you say to yourself, that happened in my life? Because when when I'm like reading it, I'm like, she keeps going. Good for her. Does she realize?
I think that anybody out there that is alive and breathing should write a book because you would appreciate your life so much more. You
Hmm.
appreciate the small things when you're writing about them, when you are going to tell somebody something about yourself and you want to be real. You dig
Yeah.
into the trenches, you open the closet and you get those skeletons, you dust them off, you sneeze a few times, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to tell this story because it's part of who I am. And I think sometimes we're scared of our skeletons.
Mhm.
We want everybody to think it's like everything is great. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything has been fine. Everything's always gone fine. How about you? It's like that's the fakest person you can
Yep.
possibly be. And so for this book, I just wanted to tell my truth. I don't want my skeletons used against me. I'm showing them. I'm saying, yeah, I started my life backwards. I married a man who had just gone through a divorce, who was having his spirituality tested, and I was finding love. I didn't know if I was going to have kids. And I'm like, finding the love of my life and then going, I don't know if you still want to be with me because I may never have babies. And then come all these years later, we end up having 7 children. Like, what the heck is that? There were so many surprises along our lives and so many moments in which I failed as a mom. And I talk about it. Like, it's like, yeah, I wish I didn't have to grind as hard and my kids have to endure not having a parent. They're going to leaving them in a child daycare in midnight because that's when I had to go on stage. So it's not an easy survival, but it's like I'm telling you the truth because I am so grateful for my life. But it hasn't been easy to get through those moments. And there's still scars in my life about it. So I'm not a perfect mom. I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm not a perfect person, but I'm trying and I'm unwilling to quit trying for the rest of my life.
I was gonna say too that when people write like autobiographies, memoirs, books about themselves, and they're so surface level, which is fine. They wrote that. They want to put that out. As a reader, sometimes we want relatability. Actually, no, we always want relatability. It doesn't have to be something so deep that you're like, I never want to talk about it again. It's something where moms can connect with you. It's connectivity is such a big thing in books. And I think that you writing what you wrote is going to connect not just to me, but so many people. And so I hope you know that. I hope you know you wrote a really good book.
Thank you. I don't know what it's meant to do, but I just know that sometimes we're meant to do things and we're inspired to do them. Like I said, I never written a book before, and my husband was like, "Really? You're going to tell this story? Oh boy." What are people going to think? I'm like, "You know what? People can think what they want, but it's time to tell the truth. And a lot of people hide behind their pasts to
Mm,
be better because they're like, who is going to want a broken person who's on the mend? Everyone. We're all trying,
right.
man. Who's perfect here? Like Jesus was. And that's why we keep reading that book. We're trying to focus our life, try to be more like him. You know what I mean? But we're not.
Exactly.
And so that's why we have to learn, and we learn from each other. And the more truth that we tell, I feel we feel more comfortable, because sometimes on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all of the social media, we're sold this fictitious truth. Like, if your house isn't perfect, I mean, I have 15 children and I can cook 6 meals a day. It's like, no, I
Hmm.
have 14 loads of laundry I still got to put in there. My washer never stops working. This is my third washer and dryer set. That's my life. You know what I'm saying? It's the reality, it's the truth. And I think sometimes the truth truly will set you free if you embrace it. But embracing the truth is scary.
A lot of people tell me because they would say I'm chaotic, but I was like, I think I'm entertaining more than chaotic.
What?
But it's because I promise there's a point. Like I'm not just telling you I'm entertaining. No. Wait. What was my point? Oh yes. I was too busy laughing
What
about
is
it.
happening? Oh,
Um,
baby.
and so people like that. But they always say they like the aesthetic part too. But I'm so real. I'm like, I have 6 bobby clips in my hair from when I was 3 years old, or I look like this all the time at home. I am not afraid to be real because we all are that way. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so the perfect life is nice to look at, hard to live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some people that I admire that seem to have it all together. And I follow them because I'm like, how can I align myself a little bit more to try to be on this bandwagon? But at the same time, I don't look at my life and go, I'm failing. To the contrary, I'm like,
Hmm.
I tried real well today. Like today, made sure everybody took showers and brushed their teeth, and we did homeschool and they finished their tasks, but the dishes didn't get washed. It's okay. We'll take the win. We'll take the win. And so, and I think that as I've gone through my journey, like when I was getting cast in the film and then I got really, really sick,
Hmm.
and I thought I was pregnant again, but turns out when I went to the hospital, um I had like long COVID, and my family and I had COVID, and this was literally while I was being cast in the film, right after my callback. And the day after the callback, I just wasn't able to move. I couldn't speak. I mean, I drove myself to the hospital and my husband had to wheel me out. And that's when I understood my true value. And sometimes we put value on what we can do, what we can accomplish, all of the achievements in our lives. And when it comes down to it, it's like we're valuable because we're just alive and we're people. And that should hold intrinsically why we value each other, because we should. We're alive. Congratulations. This is a big feat. And so I understood that I needed to lean on my community. And then I saw my kids flourish in a way I never thought. I saw my spirituality flourish because I thought I had faith just because I read my scriptures every day and because I was like doing all the things and going to the activities and showing up in church and doing and all the visitings and all the stuff that I thought that's what I needed to do. But true faith comes when you're tested, when you don't have the strength,
Yes.
and then you have to accept people's help. Oh, that's a hard one. When you have to let them in your house and it's dirty and you can't do it and you have to let them clean. So I've learned a lot through my journey, but the biggest thing is rely on your community, those who
Mhm.
really, truly are there for you. Like when rents do, that they don't run away and they're like, yo, you want to come over and have a dinner? Like when you have need something and you don't want to ask and they're like, I got you. Those are the people that you need to count on. And then don't be shy of being real with them, because we're going to need them at one point or another in our lives. And if we have trust that they're not going to use our weakness against us and that we're not going to use theirs against them, then that causes a synergy and momentum of love between people. And if we could just all treat each other that way, oh my goodness, the world would be just a beautiful place.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that the way you talk is obviously beautiful. It's something that I can't tell what it is now, but it resonates with me so well. And so you'll probably get an email from me saying like, I feel so good about this talk. Um even though it's a podcast for everyone else. Um I do want to get in real quick to one of my last questions for you. So you have a passion for singing, which we know that's me stating the obvious. Um what I liked a lot about Love Keeps Showing Up, um, which one of them was the personal pictures. I love putting a face to a name. That is my thing. If someone's like, "Oh, I met a friend at the park," I was like, "Give me the face."
Right.
So I loved that. You also put your beautiful and musical lyrics you written at the end of some of the chapters. So you also included a QR code,
Yes.
which I okay. Let me tell you, it's hard for someone, especially someone who can't like for me, I can read lyrics, but sometimes not getting the tune in the head is just like I don't know what they want me to think. They're really nice lyrics. Um, I was overjoyed that you included the link. That was the smartest thing like anyone's ever done. Did you get inspiration for that, or were you like, I'm gonna do that myself?
No, yes, my husband and I, we knew we wanted an album attached to this. And so we
Yeah.
asked Deseret Book, which is my publisher, we're like, we want to put a QR code. And they're like, oh my, is this going to be through a record label? Like, we're going to do it through our own record label. I don't want anybody stonewalling any of this. I want them to have the music as part of this because each song tells a story. Like when
Mhm.
I open up with the writer and it says, when life bucks hard, I'll hold on tighter, dig my heels in because I'm a fighter. I've been pulled, I've been thrown, I've hit the wire, but I don't fold. I climb up higher. The rougher the trail, the stronger the writer. And so I, as a poem writer, like that's what I used to write, poetry writer,
Mhm.
I wanted you to sink in the lyrics, but at the same time, I'm like, I want you to hear the song. Like, when life bucks hard, I hold on tighter, dig my heels in, cause I'm a fighter. I've been pulled, I've been thrown, I've hit the wire, but I don't fold. I climb up higher, the rougher the trail, the stronger the rider. And so that's what I want you to know. It's not just the words. It's feel it with me. This is what I feel musically, and that comes out of our soul. And so my husband and I combined to write all of these songs. He produced every track. And we got to 10 songs. And then at the end, we're like, there's 2 songs missing. When the publisher was there, we're like, we're going to have to put these QR codes right here at the end because there's 2 songs that have to go in there. And one of them is called I See You. And it's just about how wonderful, wonderful the greatness is of all of the things that we experience and all the things that we see.
What's next for you? Tell me things that you can legally tell me, spill the tea with.
All right, what's next for me? I'm going to be going on a Disney cruise and singing with Susan Egan in August, and that cruise will be going out of Europe. So we're going to be singing some awesome Disney songs. I'm always so happy to be with my Disney family. I'm going to be in Canada this next week, like in like 10 days, and also in Washington. So I also do like speaking engagements and Comic Con. So in Washington, I'll be doing a Comic Con in Canada as well. And I'm going to join a school, which we're going to get to sing some of the favorite songs. And we will be singing We Don't Talk About Bruno. And for everyone that does not know, the Disney park in Disney's Animal Kingdom, we will have an Encanto ride unveiling in 2027. So lots of fun stuff.
I didn't know this.
Yes, it is being built. It is halfway through. We just put voice to this amazing ride. So a lot of us in the cast have already gone to LA and we recorded. So this is going to be super, super fantabulous. And I hope you guys join in. I'm also going to be hitting the road with the book. And we're going to be doing like acoustic sets where I sing the song and we talk about the book. And so that will be promoted real soon. That will be hitting a bookstore near you. Yeah, we're going to be doing the songs and we're going to be talking. And I'd love to meet you guys in person because this book is written for my friends and I hope to see my friends. This is not for fans. I really am sharing both my music and my book and my journey of life with friends. So I hope friends, please join me. Come on to my Instagram, Adassa official, ADASSA official. sign in. Let's just follow each other, and let's inspire good in the world, because we need more good. We need more positivity. We need more Megans in the world.